Hello everyone, this is Kedrin Gonzalez, Creative Director at Ilphonic. Today I'm going to show you a little bit of what we've been working on. We've been very busy on the house decoration tool, and I want to go over some of the features with you and give you a little quick walkthrough. The house decorate tool is essentially a tool that lets you get inside your house you purchased through our website. If you got the house upgrade packaging and the furnishing packaging, you might see some different things available when you log in and jump inside your house. Whenever you have the furnishing package turned on, you'll see that your house is properly set dressed with a bunch of props and like desks and dressers and beds and bookshelves and lots of little cool things that are lying around your house. We set dress this for you immediately just so you have a place to start. Each of the styles of houses, if you've got something from the tenement buildings all the way to one of the manses, they all have different varied amounts of props, but they all equal to about the same value. We went through and evaluated all the price and everything like that for each prop and made sure you're getting a house filled with about equal value per the style of house you purchased. So everyone purchased the furnishing packages for the same price, but it is adjusted to the type of house you have. When you log in there, you're going to see a full house, fully decorated, looking really good. We've been really busy. It was an insanely difficult thing to get that thing working because it's not like Unreal Editor that comes with Unreal Engine 4. It literally is an editor within the game. If you notice, whenever you start playing around, you'll even see the main character just standing still in the corner of the room where you last left him. This is even going to translate into our later stages of Revival. Whenever you're playing and somebody comes in your house, they're just going to see you standing there, and you might be floating around in this camera mode, moving objects around and decorating your house. Well, some guy might be downstairs and you not even know about it, and he could be stealing everything. So there is a little risk there, right? I mean, just with Revival and all the things we do, you have to be very careful and you have to make conscious decisions all the time. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough. We're going to go through each feature, and just know this is the first iteration, so there more than likely will be a few problems, and there's definitely going to be a lot of things we get from you along the way, get some good feedback hopefully, and we're just going to really try to make it better together. There are two ways to enter decorate mode. The first way is by using your mouse cursor. You can activate your mouse cursor on the HUD by pressing the tab button. Once your cursor is free, you can find the decorate mode button on the bottom right hand side of the screen. The other way is just by pressing P. P is a shortcut that allows you to enter and exit decorate mode at any time. Navigating the viewport is very easy. You can do it in two different ways. One way is to use the camera controls option that's on the screen on the right. Here you can find multiple ways to move the camera. You can pan, move forward, move backwards, rotate the camera, things like that. The easiest way to probably is just use your keyboard and mouse though. With this, you can use right mouse button on your mouse to rotate the camera, WASD to move around, and you can use the middle mouse button to pan the camera. Whatever is the most comfortable for you. Selecting an object is very easy. All you have to do is hover your mouse over an object and you'll see a yellow outline come around it. Whenever you have an object selected, it will outline in green. To deselect an object, simply click off the object or onto another object. If an object is red, that means you're unable to commit your current action. If you're unhappy with your changes, simply press the cancel button to reset the object back to the state it was in before you selected the object. There are three ways to manipulate objects in Revival's house decorate tool. The first and easiest method is the grab tool. The grab tool lets you grab an object and move it with the camera. The second tool is the move tool, which lets you just move an object in 3D space. The third tool is the rotate, which just lets you rotate an object along an axis. In 3D, an object's position is based off three coordinates, X, Y, and Z. In Revival, X is red, Y is green, and Z is blue. Just drag on one of these poles to move the object around. It's pretty easy and you'll understand it as soon as you start doing it. Whenever you rotate an object, you're going to rotate it based on one of these axes. There are three different ways to snap in the house decorate tool. The first one is called position snapping. Position snapping essentially will just snap an object to a surface that is appropriate to that type of object when you get near it, such as a cup on a shelf or a picture on a wall. The second type is grid snapping. Grid snapping essentially just locks the object onto a 3D grid as you move it around. That way it's easy to line objects and get a good amount of space between them, always having a perfect measurement. The third type is angle snapping. With angle snapping, you're able to rotate objects on snap degrees, so you can do a lot of cool, very carefully measured effects with lining objects up. There's two different orientations an object can live in 3D space. One is world space, which is essentially how the object sits in, say, your living room in relation to your living room. So if you're moving it towards the door or away from the door. The other is local space, also referred to as object space. And that essentially just means if you're thinking of a table, what's the top of the table or the front of the table? So when you're moving it away from the table, you're talking about the local space of the table. But then if you're saying moving it towards the door of your living room, then you're using world space. So essentially moving between these orientations allows you to have a little bit better control if you're ever rotating an object. Let's just say you're talking about moving a couch. You want it rotated like a little angle in the corner, but then you want to move it a little bit to the left and then a little bit to the right. Switching between the orientation modes of world and local space essentially just gives you a lot of control and a lot of ability to fine-tune your placement of objects. The Revival Housing tool also includes an undo and redo feature, just in case you make some mistakes and need to take a couple steps back. Keep in mind that if you go back too far and then make an additional step, you're going to lose all your chances to redo and go forward again. The physics area allows you to simulate and pin objects. When you simulate an object, you are essentially allowing the physics of the object to take over and roll around on the ground for a bit. With the object still selected, press pin at any time, and as long as the object's in an area it can successfully land on, like a tabletop for example, it will pin the object in whatever state that physics shape was in. So if you want a cup on its side and to be stationary until it's activated again, you'll let the cup roll around and then hit pin when you're satisfied with its location. I'm sure you can imagine why selecting multiple objects can be very useful. If you want to select multiple objects, hold the Shift key while clicking on objects and you can hold up to as many as you want at any time. One of the extremely useful features we have in the Revival Housing tool is the ability for small objects to sometimes be children to bigger objects. Sometimes if you have a big object like a table and you set dressed it, you have your cups everywhere you want it, you don't want to have to redo it again because you decide to shift the table across the room. Simply click the table, and if all the objects are placed correctly on top of the table, they should be able to move with the table without any issues. After you've clicked off objects, you're essentially committing your change. Let's just say you've been doing a lot of stuff in your current session of House Decorate mode, and you're not happy with the results. Pressing the Reset State button will reset all the objects to where they were before you went into House Decorate mode. This means you can go in and out of House Decorate mode to get good save points as you progress through decorating your house. If you're planning on doing a lot of decorating, you might want to look into Master Mode. Master Mode is essentially a mode that removes the bar at the bottom of the screen and then essentially lets you go full screen with very minimal HUD to get in your way. In order to get into Master Mode, simply click the Master Mode button on the HUD. If you want to know how to use Master Mode effectively, make sure you explore the controls in the Options menu by pressing Escape. There will be many things that change in the house decorating tool as we go forward, but for now this is a great first iteration, and based on your feedback we can make it a lot better. We look forward to reading your comments on the forums and making this tool as good as it can be. We're coming up on the end of stage 1. There's only a few things left to do. One of those big things is get the patcher ready, which is going to make downloading the game a lot easier. Another big thing is releasing the estates. I know a lot of people have been asking about the estates, and they're almost ready. As you can tell, decorating all these houses was not an easy chore. That's 45 houses, and now we got the estates to do, which are gigantic in their own right. Please stay tuned as we reveal more stuff coming up on the horizon. We have a whole bunch of stuff coming up, and we're almost done with stage 1. Keep with us until we're at the finish line, and then we'll get to stage 2 soon enough.